Welcome. You're listening to Apex Mindset. I'm John.
And I'm Lucy. Great to be exploring another powerful idea with you today.
Absolutely. Today we're getting into something really fascinating, I think. It's this idea of how your self-presentation dramatically shapes how people see you and, well, how they treat you. We're calling it wearing the invisible crown.
Exactly. And we've been looking at some really compelling insights that highlight, a timeless truth. People tend to treat you the way you teach them to. It's not just about your CV or accomplishments.
Oh.
It's fundamentally about how you project self-respect, dignity, even a kind of quiet authority just through your presence and behavior.
So for this Apex Mindset, we want to unpack why carrying yourself with confidence, maybe even what you could call a regal confidence, can actually shift your interactions, your career trajectory, maybe even your personal life.
We'll explore why it works and also, crucially, what can happen when you don't embrace it.
Yeah, the downside.
Get ready for maybe a few aha moments that might just get you thinking about adjusting your own invisible crown.
Okay, so let's unpack this core idea first.
Yeah.
People treat you the way you teach them to. Sounds simple, right? Almost like a platitude.
It does, but the psychology behind it is really quite deep. What we've been reviewing makes it super clear that your posture, your presence, your whole demeanor, it's constantly sending signals about your perceived worth before you even open your mouth.
And what's so interesting there is how, deeply wired this seems to be in us, socially.
Totally. We instinctively look for cues, don't we? Cues of strength, authority, confidence. When someone walks into a room projecting self-assurance, it gets noticed. Period.
And the opposite is true, too, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Insecurity, self-doubt, even if it's subtle, it can almost invite dismissal. Or worse, people might just talk over you or ignore your contributions. It's not necessarily malicious. It's often subconscious.
And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. There are a few dynamics here. First, people tend to mirror behavior back. The mirroring effect. If you act like you deserve respect, others often unconsciously just agree and reflect that back to you. It sets the tone.
It really does. And second, perception often becomes reality, especially when it comes to status.
How so?
Well, status isn't always just about your job title or how much money you have. A huge part of it is simply how you carry yourself. Your bearing creates the perception of status.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And third, authority often involves a degree of, let's say, performance. Leaders frequently project confidence and authority, sometimes even before they feel fully in command of a situation. It's about embodying the role.
So connecting this to the bigger picture then, it means if you consciously carry yourself with that sort of regal confidence we mentioned, you're not just changing how others see you, you're actually influencing how you see yourself too. It's that feedback loop again.
Exactly. A powerful feedback loop. It reinforces itself. You act more confident, people treat you with more respect, which makes you feel more confident, and so on.
It's not about being fake, is it? It's more like stepping into the role.
Precisely. It's about adopting the mindset and the physical presence of the person you want to be or the position you want to hold. People are drawn to clarity, They prefer to follow those who seem certain, even if the future is a bit fuzzy.
Okay, to really get a handle on this, let's look at a real-world example. Someone who just perfectly embodies this invisible crown idea. Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, absolutely. Her story is incredible. From really humble beginnings to, well, one of the most influential media figures on the planet. It's a masterclass in cultivating that presence.
And what's striking is it wasn't just talent, right? Though obviously she has immense talent.
No, it seems like it was also a very deliberate cultivation of her presence. When she first started on TV, she didn't just copy others, she carved out her own space.
How did she do that?
Well, she created this unique blend of authentic empathy, but also undeniable command. She treated every conversation, every interview, like it was happening in her domain, asking bold questions, speaking with authority.
Right. She wasn't just a host. She became this trusted cultural voice.
Exactly, and that came from that presence. Also, think about how she projected self-worth, sort of unapologetically.
Yeah, despite her background, she never seemed to act small.
Never. No apologies for her success, her opinions, her stature. Guests didn't matter if they were huge stars or politicians. They entered her arena. Respect was the baseline, just assumed.
She set the terms without even needing to say it.
And then there's the art of selectivity, like her book club or the favorite things.
Oh, yeah. Those became a huge phenomena.
They weren't random picks, were they? They felt curated, strategic, like a monarch giving their stamp of approval. That selectivity just amplified her influence massively. It made her endorsement incredibly valuable.
Because her attention seemed scarce and therefore important.
Precisely. She didn't seem to chase attention. Attention came to her. Her calm authority, whether she was talking to presidents or ordinary people, it just perfectly showed that royal mindset and leadership.
So the takeaway for us, for you listening, Oprah's story really shows that commanding respect isn't purely about money or titles.
Not at all. It's about embodying that crown before you technically have it. She acted as though she deserved global influence long before she actually had it on that scale. And eventually the world kind of caught up to her self-perception.
It really is a powerful demonstration of self-presentation shaping reality.
It truly is. But on the flip side, the information we looked at also gives us a pretty stark warning.
About what happens when leaders don't embody that presence.
Exactly. Or worse, when they actively try to dismantle the very aura that gives them authority. Let's talk about Louis Philippe.
The Duke of Orleans, who became King of France in 1830, often called the bourgeois king.
And it's fascinating because he consciously tried to do the complete opposite of someone like Oprah.
Right. He deliberately wanted to get rid of all the pomp and circumstance of royalty.
He did. He preferred hanging out with bankers over the nobility. His whole style was about downplaying his status, trying to blend in with the middle-class businessmen who'd backed him.
That famous image of him walking around Paris with his gray hat and umbrella.
Like an ordinary guy. He even made a point of treating James Rothschild, who was the most powerful banker in France, as an equal, just talking business, peer to peer. He actively tried to dissolve the mystique.
So the big question then is, was he just ahead of his time, trying a more, modern, relatable leadership style?
Well, according to the narratives we've seen, absolutely not. It backfired badly.
How so?
Initially, maybe people were amused by the Common Man Act, but it wore thin very quickly. People felt it was off, disingenuous somehow.
Especially as the wealth gap was actually growing.
Right. So it seemed like a performance and not a convincing one. The old aristocracy, they despised him for being unkingly, for ditching all the ceremony.
And the poor.
They didn't get anything out of it either. He didn't act like a king, but he also didn't really govern like a champion of the people. He was stuck in this weird middle ground that pleased no one.
And the consequences of deliberately lowering his own status, they were pretty severe, weren't they?
Oh, definitely. He didn't just lose respect from the extremes, even the bankers, the very people he tried to cozy up to.
Yeah.
They started treating him with contempt. That same banker, Rothschild, the one he treated as an equal. There's a famous story where Rothschild publicly chewed him out for being late for a train.
Wow. The king getting told off by a banker he tried to befriend?
Exactly. He completely lost the ability to inspire loyalty or fear or even affection. People increasingly saw him as just protecting his own money and the banker's money, not the country, not the monarchy.
Which led eventually to
revolution, full-blown revolution in 1848. He had to abdicate suddenly, flee to England. His whole government just sort of evaporated, left a total vacuum.
What really stands out there is that people seem to actually want a certain presence in their leaders.
It seems so. When Louis Philippe tried to erase that aura, he fundamentally misread the room. He misread human psychology.
The French wanted a bit of showmanship, a strong presence.
Apparently so. Even radicals like Robespierre understood the power of presence. And what happened next? They ended up electing Napoleon's grandnephew, basically an unknown.
Why him?
Mostly because of the name. They were hoping to recapture that powerful, almost legendary aura associated with Napoleon, trying to forget the awkwardness of the bourgeois king. It shows that trying to be just one of the guys when you're in a leadership role can really backfire. It breeds contempt, not connection.
Okay, so bringing these two stories together, Oprah and Louis Philippe, what does this all mean for you listening right now?
Well, whether you're, say, a founder pitching your startup, or a professional looking for that next promotion, or even just navigating everyday social interactions, how you project yourself counts a lot.
It's not just what you say, but the energy behind it, the quiet authority.
Exactly. The information consistently points to the power of projecting certainty. In a world full of uncertainty, people are drawn to clarity like moths to a flame.
A confident presence feels safe, reassuring.
And similarly, if you act like your time and attention are valuable not arrogantly, but just by setting boundaries and being selective, others tend to value them more too. You teach them.
Again, it's not about being arrogant or putting on some fake act. It's about embodying self-respect so consistently that other people just naturally mirror it back.
Right. And maybe think about some signs that you might be inadvertently acting too small. Do you find yourself apologizing constantly, like for having an opinion?
Or getting interrupted a lot
Yeah.
and just letting it happen.
Yeah, or maybe downplaying your successes, saying, oh, it was nothing when you achieved something significant.
Or just feeling overlooked, even though you know you're competent.
If any of that sounds familiar, it might be a signal. Time to consciously adjust that invisible crown. Time to start teaching people, through your bearing, how you expect to be treated.
And this principle, it's not just for historical figures or CEOs, right? It's maybe even more relevant today.
I think so, yeah. In our digital age with so much oversharing and noise and everyone seemingly chasing external likes and validation. Yeah.
Someone who projects that sort of royal composure, calm, self-assured, selective with their energy, they really stand out. That kind of presence is magnetic in a world that's often frantic.
Okay, so to wrap up this ATEX mindset then, the core message seems pretty clear.
It really does. If you respect yourself visibly and consistently, others will tend to follow your lead. Respect isn't usually just handed out freely.
You have to teach people, you set the standard.
You absolutely do.
So here's something for you to take away and think about. How are you wearing your invisible crown today, right now? Are you projecting the dignity and worth that you genuinely possess?
It's a great question to reflect on. Thanks for joining us for this Apex Mindset. We really hope you found these insights valuable.
Yes, thank you. And if you liked what you heard today, please do take a moment to like and subscribe for more valuable knowledge from Apex Mindset.